Hello everyone. I hope everyone I hope everyone's having a good day today. But I'm just chilling here and thought of this video idea that's been on my mind actually as of lately, and predominantly the way that YouTube has changed since I grew up with YouTube. So I grew up at a time on YouTube when a lot of channels were far different and major content was far different, and I honestly preferred it at the time. It's not that YouTube now is bad, it's just that it's different, and I think sometimes it's hard for us to deal with change. But let me explain. I watched YouTubers like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie. I mean, there's other ones, but those were like the big three. Those were like the big trio, right? Of gaming channels. And it's like, you could argue PewDiePie, he's kind of relevant, but Markiplier and Jacksepticeye are still definitely relevant. But I think they're relevant in the sense that they have their dedicated fan base. They have a very dedicated base that's been with them and still with them after this time, and that has allowed them to gain new fans as well. PewDiePie, he has, you know, a wife and kid at this point. I can't really blame him, and I'm honestly happy for him at that point. But the thing that I wanted to talk about today was relevancy on YouTube and trying to stay relevant in whatever way that is. You know, the majority of YouTubers don't make it big. And I'm not saying that in a way to discourage people. I think honestly, if YouTube, you love doing it, you should do it. There's nothing to say that you can't do it or you shouldn't do it. No, try it. I mean, just start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, and it might not be good, but once you get somewhere, it's gonna be good. I had a YouTube channel before this, and I started it back in 2015. Fortunately, it's gone. I didn't hit puberty yet. Channels today that I watch are vast. I have a vast interest in science and commentary channels, but lately I think commentary channels just haven't really been my cup of tea, because it feels like opinions are getting more and more stale as the day goes by. You know, having an opinion is not a bad thing. Having a voice is important, and definitely not a bad thing. People aren't always going to agree with you on things, and that's life. Like, people aren't always going to like what you have to say. People don't want to always hear what you have to say. People are going to get angry over shit that probably doesn't matter, but it's still important to voice your opinion. But I don't think these very popular YouTube channels are doing that. Sorry, Moist Critical, and sorry, Some Ordinary Gamers. I like you guys. You seem like cool guys, but like, I watched them a lot, and like, there's a point when it just felt like it was the same content over and over again, and I couldn't just keep watching it, because when you have the same opinion as everyone else, it's not really your opinion. I mean, they probably have some deeper insight that would actually probably be good. It would be useful insight, but going the safe route and just joining the bandwagon of what everyone else has to say it's honestly pretty lame. Sensitive subjects, there's always going to be people that, you know, like politics, for example, very sensitive subject, religion. But if you just have the same centrist, oh, I think this about this, and my opinion is basically the same as like everyone else's, you're going to never offend anyone. I think when you offend someone, you're kind of doing something right in a sense. And what I mean by that is, what is something that's offensive? Something offensive is something that creates discussion, makes you think about something, or it makes you lash out. It just depends on what kind of person and thinker you are. And I would say a more reasonable person would be more likely to think about and discuss / argue with the person, aka a debate. We got plenty of those. It's important to discuss opinions about things. The reason why I bring up commentary specifically and YouTube in the past is because commentary has always been a thing on YouTube since the past 10 years, but it's become more and more predominant. Same with documentary style videos and essay videos. I mean, they're all forms of opinions, but they're less, I think they're more dull. It's more about getting views, getting clicks. It's important to be you, man. It's important to have, I'm saying important a lot, aren't I? Aren't I? Yes. I'm stumbling on words at this point because this video is not actually scripted, and I don't really want to write a script for a video that would kind of seem robotic at that point. I want to be real. It's not to say that I wouldn't be being real, but think about the next time when you're watching these YouTubers. Is this actually their opinion, or is this a crafted opinion? A lot of what we do in life could be our own opinion, but think of how much influences there is beyond that. It's okay to offend people. Maybe it's not okay to them, but having the confidence to be able to say no to someone, or to tell the truth even if it's not something that people want to hear. It's important. Again, I said important. You need to make that distinction of being able to say what you really mean instead of saying the damn same shit that every other commentator channel is going to be. So I recommend, if you become a commentator channel, there's two routes, major routes you can go. You can go for the views, and hey, I mean money, status, all that stuff's great, but if you go for that, it's gonna come at a price, that of originality to an extent. I could be wrong. Prove me wrong, and I hope you prove me wrong. Commentator channels are probably one of the best routes you can go on YouTube right now. I mean, they're very popular, but there's so much trauma, there's so much shit in them, there's so much he said, she said bullshit. It's pretty ridiculous. I had a week once where I completely abandoned my technology because I was going on camp with my family. We were pretty much in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't bring it. I just brought some books, and that was very different from what I did. I chronically used the internet very often, probably about 8 hours a day beforehand. But I think making that decision to change that was honestly so good for me mentally. I was just able to actually think about shit and like have peace of mind. You don't have all these voices and opinions telling you what's right and what's wrong. You can actually form it yourself at that point. You know, back in the old day, that's what you had to do, was form your own opinion. Because you didn't have outlets, you didn't have the news. I mean, you had papers, but you didn't have anything besides that. You had your direct circle of people that you talked to. So, of course, you had to make your own observation of the world. And isn't that what we should still be doing today, is be making our own observation of what society is and what the world is? I encourage everyone watching to really critically think about things. Think twice about things. You know, think twice about the opinion of someone and the sources that they get it, if they even get the sources. At the end of the day, like, are we really talking about shit that matters? It's drama. If it's illegal shit, police hopefully take care of it. If it's, oh, this famous guy cheated, then of course people want to talk about it because it's, you know, they're famous and they get a lot of attention, and then they just move on from it. But it's this cycle. You can still engage with the internet and still engage with people, but maybe try things a little bit differently. But at the same time, that's just my opinion. That is the way I see things, and ultimately it's ironic, everything that I preached. Because in a sense, I am a part of the collective that creates the opinions, or rather, the base of opinion. People that watch my channel. I've been doing this long enough to know that that's exactly what I could be doing. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you didn't, that's alright. I make all sorts of content, so I make gaming, I make documentary stuff, surprise surprise, on Terraria. Yeah, very amazing game, by the way. And I make other kinds of videos. I've been making videos for 3 years. You wouldn't think so because I have such a small subscriber count, but I do. I actually do. I have been doing this for a long time. So check out my shit. I got a Discord server, not very active, but you can check that shit out, and hopefully you will enjoy it. So everyone have a good rest of your day, and thank you for watching. See you all later, I think. Yeah.